Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Grandpa's Farm here on Stitzer, Wisconsin. So I believe at the end of the last episode we got all the corn planted, and in between episodes I went ahead and mowed a few strips because we are going to do some grass silage. But I do have a surprise from the local co-op downtown had a silage bagger that you can rent. So I know we still have corn silage left in that silo, so I don't want to put fresh haylage on top of the corn silage and not being able to cover it. So I figured we might as well go ahead and put a bag in for our haylage that we're going to do. So there's all the hay that we're going to do for haylage is already mowed and it's all raked up, ready to go. So I just got to go pick up the bagger still in a bag. Say the old 4850 is hooked up to the silage chopper. I believe we are going to put the 5488 on the bagger, just so we can actually unload the wagon just a little bit faster, so we have a higher amount of horsepower to shove in the haylage. So that pretty much just leaves a 1206 to haul the wagons back and forth with. So I'll go down and grab my pickup real quick, and I'll meet you guys up at town whenever I have the bagger ready to go and the bag loaded on the truck. Alright, thanks. I'll make sure to bring it back all nice and clean if I can. Yep, I'll have it back hopefully in a day or two. Alright guys, we're back. Went ahead and got silage bagger all hooked up, and we just got a single bag that should be able to hold all of our haylage so we can get through winter. So we'll go ahead and bring this back up to the farm, and I guess I got to talking to with them there in the co-op there. They said there's a rumor that one of the local farmers around here is going to retire this year. So I also went ahead and joined the local soil and water conservation board. So I'm wondering if I can get just a little bit more info possibly tonight at the meeting, because the meeting for tonight's at 7 o'clock. So hopefully we can get all this silage, all this haylage all put in the bag and ready to go. So I wonder what kind of equipment, because I believe they said that the rumor has it that he's going to have a big auction in December of this year, which works out great for tax purposes for us. So that means we can look into buying some new equipment, or at least some new to us equipment. So we'll have to kind of wait and see, I guess. Between that and possibly pick up some more land, because I know we've got a good amount of oat acres left, and once we get the oats off we're going to put soybeans into it, so hopefully we should have a pretty good payday. But we also need to spend a good amount of money to make sure the tax man stays off our back. So if we can spend some money helping a local farmer entering a good retirement, to be a lot better than, I guess, spending it out at the dealership and helping them, even though they're kind of our only option for parts and service out in this area. Even though I am planning on, but yeah, since they're our only source of parts and service out in this area, but hopefully we don't need service since all of our equipment is kind of older. We just mainly need them for parts. So have to kind of wait and see what comes up for auction this winter then, I guess. So yeah, we'll get turned back on the road here and get heading down towards farm. So I did go ahead and get all of our heifers are going to calf here in the next few months in the milking barn. Because we had some over in the heifer barn with the non-pregnant ones. So we'll went ahead and moved them over off camera too. Just so they could start getting used to that barn. So we're back here at the farm, guys. So we gotta figure out for sure where we want to put this bag at. And I believe we're going to go ahead and put this bag probably around the back side here. Go ahead and try not to hit anything. So we'll probably go ahead and do it along the road here. Go ahead and get unattached and come around the back side of the bagger here, and we'll get this bag thrown off real quick. Get the straps undone. Oh, it's kind of need to. Oh, wait, let me put down the sides real quick. Alright, now we can just. Alright, guys. Get the truck moved out of the road, and we're going to grab the 5488, and I'll catch you back over here in a second. Alright, guys, I got back over here, and the 5488 got it hooked up to the ag bagger here. Go ahead here and try to get this lined up just a little bit more here. So it has been a while since I've used this ag bagger, so we'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and get a load of silage chopped real quick and get it brought up here, and we can see maybe it might just start automatically filling the bag whenever it's behind it, because I honestly cannot remember. So you come up here and let the 4640 get warmed, or the 4850 get warmed up. Got it all started up. And then we'll get the old 1206 here started up. Get her hooked up to a wagon real quick. So she does take a minute to start. She is getting up there in age, so I believe the old Badger wagon will be just a little bit easier to get to. So we'll just get the Gale wagon hooked up to 1206 here. And I believe we will go ahead and get started right here on the other side of the barn. Might as well do the closest field first. Okay. Wagon's located up here. I might as well just use 1206. 4850 is going to need a couple minutes here to warm up, even though it is summertime. But for how much horsepower that chopper needs, might as well let her get warmed up first. So get the old Badger hooked up and get it brought over here. So then hopefully we can get this old bag filled. I believe with our 3 or 4 fields that we have to chop, we should be able to fill it, no problem. Get the old 1206 parked over here for now. Then we can run down and grab the 4850. So I went ahead and serviced the tractor and went ahead and serviced the chopper as well. Make sure there wasn't anything we needed to do, or got her all greased up and ready to go as well. So I believe we'll just hook up the old Badger here first. Get her unfolded. This messed me up just a little bit. all hooked up here, hopefully. Nope, we need to go over just a little bit more. Alright guys, got the old wagon filled up here. Go ahead and get the old chopper fired up and see what we can do here. Let's see here. Find the right gear here. Make sure we get all as much as we can here. I believe a good 7-8 mile an hour is going to be pretty good here for how thick this first cutting is. And for having to pull these hills, it should be plenty fast. So yeah guys, looks like we're filling the old wagon up pretty good and pretty quick. Oh, it just seems like the old tractor might be struggling just a little bit to go up the hill. Or I might just have to upshift the gear, be a little bit better, but then we'll be going just a little bit too fast. I don't want to plug up the chopper. Because let me tell you, it's not fun to have to unplug this thing. I remember Grandpa telling me the one time he almost lost his fingers because he got in a hurry because the thing kept plugging because the grass was too wet. So I almost lost his fingers because he did switch off the PTO and decided to start shoving sticks through it. So hopefully it's replaced the knives since then, because I know shoving sticks, and I know Grandpa, he didn't use no small sticks. So I know those would have definitely done some damage. So it looks like we almost have this one filled up all the way. So, oh, got her all filled up. Go ahead and back her up just a little bit. Oh, okay. Unhook the wagon from her. Then we'll run down real quick and grab the 1206. So I'll catch up with you guys here in a minute. Alright guys, got back down to 1206 and so we're on our way up to take the empty wagon up to the chopper. Saying this 1206 really is not liking pulling the hills with this with even an empty wagon. So I'm glad we're going downhill with the full wagons, that is to say the least. See, I couldn't get any of the local kids to come help me out on silage harvest because they're still in school, so get pulled up here real quick. Get that unhooked. And we'll kind of sneak our way down here real fast. Get that wagon hooked up. Get this wagon hooked up to the chopper here real fast. Then pull forward some and run a little bit more through it so we're out of the road plenty good enough. Alright, so we'll run down and get this wagon unloaded real quick so we can make sure that bag is going to work for sure. Yep, maybe the 1206 has it. Spinning out a good little bit. So yeah, this 1206 don't want to pull these wagons very good. That is to say the very least. So it looks like we might have to put the 1206 on the bagger and use the 5488 to pull the wagons. Which I don't quite understand that, because in real life we used to use a 3020 to pull silage wagons with, so, and that's got less horse than this 1206 does, so. Careful coming down off the hill, so we got a turn right here, so don't want to pick up speed too much. Bring her over here. We'll go ahead and we can unload it, so So we are off a little bit, so make sure we're unloading here still. So while that's unloading, I'll go ahead and keep chopping. So I'll catch up with you guys here in a few minutes whenever we got another load ready to go in the bagger. Alright guys, so we got this wagon here 50% full, and I'm not sure if that other wagon's finished unloading yet or not. I mean, if you guys can go ahead and leave me some feedback, whether, like, say for the chopping stuff, if you guys rather just see it time lapsed, or rather me just kind of do a little bit in the video and then go ahead and do it off camera for a majority of it, because I know this is going to get real repetitive real quick. But say for this chopper, for the first time using this chopper, I'm actually kind of impressed. I haven't really had a whole lot of issues with it yet. So I know some of these you can get a good amount of issues with them for no reason, whether it be they just don't like these chopper boxes or just small little stupid things. So the one thing I will say for this one that I do not exactly care for is that as soon as you turn on the chopper, that the head gets lowered. That is one thing I will say that I do not like. So go ahead and run down here and see if the 1206 has got this one emptied yet or not. So let's see here. I believe we got this one emptied. Yep, this wagon's emptied, so. Alright guys, you have to give me a second here. I see what we did wrong here. Alright guys, sorry about the technical difficulties. I had to get that figured out real fast, so. Just bothered me a little bit with it not being actually matched up. So I had to do just a little bit of editing. Even though in reality you'd be backing all the way down here to start the bag, but kind of have to make do with our options that we have to us. So go ahead and get this chopper box brought back up here and get it hooked up with chopper. We'll take the old Gale wagon down and get it started unloading here in a minute. Might have to run over a little bit of our corn here, but don't exactly have a whole lot of options here. Yeah, we're just going to have to take her down and out of here. Just try to keep it between the rows a little bit so we weren't damaging the corn too badly. But I mean, I say if that one box filled the bag up that much, we might need a couple more bags. Or we might have to TED some of it out and bale it. So go ahead and get this one started to unload. And so what that makes two chopper boxes we've got so far. So this grass is actually yielding pretty good. Go ahead and hop back in the chopper tractor here, get the old wagon hooked up, and we'll go ahead and keep her going. So I will say I really do like the animations on this head, just because it actually looks like we've actually got our grass going into the chopper, rather than some of them you get it just kind of disappears right in front of the head and goes off in the la la land. But this one actually looks like it's actually feeding into the head. Driving's getting to be a little bit all over the place here, but so I'm trying to remember if I got this chopper off of the mod hub or where I got this one So it's going to be really interesting for whenever we get in the corn harvest using this chopper here to chop our corn with. Alright, here's another wagon filled up, so we'll go ahead and back her down a little bit. Hopefully you can try to back a little bit more, or a little bit straighter this time. That ain't going to happen, so go ahead and drop her off and go down and get 1206, and I'll catch you guys whenever I get back up here with another empty wagon. Alright guys, went down and got 1206 and on our way back up with the Gale wagon again, so I'm kind of thinking we're going to have to just go ahead and buy another bag, because I don't believe we're going to have anywhere close to enough space in that one bag for everything that we had chopped. Or everything that we have mowed and ready to chop, I should say. Although we might just have to kind of wait and see. Figure it'd be relatively nice to do a little bit of a bag silage, especially on a map that's so much focused around dairy farming. This way, have our stave silos and our bags all set up. So yeah, I don't know guys, I mean this is our steepest hayfield that we do have, so the rest of them are a little bit more level that I have mowed, so I mean I used 1206 to mow the field and it didn't do bad. I mean it didn't lose speed with the old hay bind, but it must just be a good enough amount of weight difference though. So guys, if you want, I'll just go ahead and throw at least the rest of this field in the time lapse for you guys. I believe probably by the time that we get that field done, we're going to need another bag, so I'll go ahead and call down and get another bag ready to go as well. So I guess I'll go ahead and get the rest of it time lapsed, and I'll catch up with you guys there in a minute. guys. I believe we're getting to be on the last strip here of this field. Just a short one. So I know we're not going to fill up this wagon all the way. There's no chance that we're going to. But we did get it over halfway filled up at least, so go ahead and get the chopper turned off. Get the old wagon unhooked and said, yeah, we're going to get another bag. But so our other two fields, we got one here and then we've got one just a little bit down there. So I'll go ahead and get those done off camera for you guys. And I'll make sure to give you guys an update whenever they're done of how many loads we had in total. So yep, I'll give you guys an update after we go ahead and get those other two fields done, because I want to go run down and get another bag to finish out our haylage with. So go ahead and get that done and give you guys an update after I get it done.